Hey there, everybody. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining us on this live stream coming at you on Facebook and YouTube tonight. I hope you had a good Monday. The big news today was we hit 30 degrees. How about that? That's the first time we've been at 30 in 11 days around here. Baby steps, my friends. Baby steps. I'm back. I was out in Arizona all weekend. My daughter had some soccer games out there, so we went out to Arizona and had a good time. And yesterday in Phoenix, we were up to 85 degrees. It was a record high for Phoenix. So warm on the west side of the nation and cold still in the east. All right, I'm not going to keep you guys too long tonight. Let's just get to the nuts and bolts of this thing. What is this one going to be tomorrow? A nuisance, a shoveler, a paralyzer like the last one? Nah, this one is going to be on the lower end of the shoveler range. Maybe high end of nuisance for some, lower end of shoveler for others tomorrow. This is going to be a wet snow that we see tomorrow too. Pretty kind of a complex situation because the area of snow that we're going to have is going to be fairly narrow. So I think we're going to see a huge difference in snowfall amounts throughout the tri-state tomorrow. So right now, I'll just tell you, you're going to tell me tomorrow when all is said and done, John, you blew it. That was a bad forecast. Because there's going to be a difference in amounts all over. So let me give you a timeline here of what we expect Tuesday. The morning drive should be in good shape. We don't expect any issues on the morning drive. Looks like the snow doesn't arrive until after 7 o'clock in the morning, and it first starts southwest of Cincinnati and then spreads to the northeast. So the earlier you're out the door tomorrow, the bigger your chance of missing the snow on that morning drive. Starts out very light. It'll pick up by late morning, and by noon, some areas might have maybe an inch and a half of snow. Maybe on the high end, if we get some banding set up, somebody gets a couple inches by noon. But generally an inch or so by noon for most of us. Late morning, early afternoon, it kind of picks up. It'll taper off by the end of the afternoon and the evening, depending on location. Looks like a solid 1 to 3 inches for most. Most. I say most because I guarantee there'll be spots that fall shy of an inch, and I guarantee there'll be some spots that get more than 3 inches. But by and large, if you're watching or stream tonight from one of our 26 counties in the local 12 News viewing area, most of you are going to end up in that 1 to 3 range. Tomorrow night, you still see some flakes flying south of Cincinnati, some flurries elsewhere, slick spots. That's going to be the deal. So there is the winter weather advisory. Starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, runs through 10 o'clock Tuesday evening. Covers everyone except for our friends in Fayette and Union County in Indiana. They've left you out of the party this time. So, no winter weather advisory for you. But you may see a little winter weather up there. It's just that it's not going to be that much. This is the setup tonight. We have area of low pressure working out of the Dakotas. Another one that's coming out of Texas and Oklahoma. That one's going to move to the south of us. The northern one's going to kind of swing to the north of us. Both of these will kind of pancake the area, sandwich us with a little bit of snow come tomorrow. You can see those clouds lingering tonight. Might see some flakes fly, flurries through the evening here. But let's show you Futurecast and a timeline. There's some of those flurries that might fly tonight, especially in our eastern areas. Clinton, Highland County won't amount to anything. And then tomorrow morning might see a little snow brushing our northern counties. 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning across the north with that northern piece of energy that's going to be coming down. And then that's not the main thing, though. The main thing comes up from the southwest. It's that low that moves across the Tennessee Valley. So 7 in the morning, you might see some flakes from Versailles to Vevey to Owenton. And then between 7 and 8, starts to overspread to most of the rest of us here, but it's going to be very light. It really doesn't pick up until after 9, so 9, 10 o'clock. You see the banding there and the heavier snow. This is when we get some bursts of snow coming down and when you might see the majority of the accumulation along the Ohio River tomorrow morning. That's around 10 o'clock. And, we take you out through around noon And you can see how that banding kind of sets up with the darker colors indicating the heavier snow, the lighter whites indicating the lighter snow. And this particular model by noon shows nothing at all in our northern counties. So this might be a nothing burger for areas to the north, depending on how this thing tracks tomorrow. Also notice by noon, this particular model does raise temperatures a little bit across the south and maybe mixes in a little rain across Owen and southern Grant and Pendleton and southern Bracken and Mason and Robertson counties. So you might be talking a little bit of a snow rain mix down there. Then it goes back to snow as things get colder. So that's around 3 o'clock. And this particular model has most of the action tomorrow afternoon across the southern one half of the viewing area with not a whole lot happening across the north. And then it moves out. So slow progression south. By 5 o'clock out of the Cincinnati area, we've got some flakes still flying from Vevey to Georgetown, Peebles, and points south. And then by 8 o'clock, it is done. It is out of here. It is gone. So this isn't a huge snow, but I think the amounts are going to just be all over the place. We cover 26 counties, and across our 26 counties, some spots may see less than an inch of snow. Other spots may see over 3 inches of snowfall. This is one of our more aggressive model solutions for the snow. I mean, it's showing a solid 2 inches just about everywhere. It shows some lesser amounts to the southwest of Cincinnati, where there could be less than an inch. And then it shows some greater amounts in a corridor to the east or southeast of Cincinnati through Claremont, Brown, and Adams County, where some locations, if this model is correct, could, get around 4 inches of snowfall accumulation. And again, this is our most aggressive modeling solution. I usually don't show all these models on TV, but I love to give you a little peek under the hood here, so to speak, when we do the streaming stuff. This model's kind of middle of the road. This is the European model. The last model was the Weather Company Graph model. This is the European model. It shows just under 2 inches of snow for Cincinnati. Generally shows anywhere from less than an inch in Connersville to just over 2 inches to the south and east of Cincinnati. Again, that same hot spot kind of through Claremont, Brown, Adams, and Highland County that sees the most, but this model's got less there. Still shows the same hot spot, though, of about, 2.5 inches of snow. And then this model is the least aggressive solution, the high-resolution rapid refresh model, or HRRR, or HRRR as it's sometimes called. It shows like next to nothing in our northern counties tomorrow, and about 1 to 2 inches to the south of Cincinnati, from Cincinnati south, essentially. So you can see this is not huge by any means. What do we think? Well, this is kind of splitting hairs tomorrow. I think most of us, 1 to 3 is safe. Some spots maybe with less than an inch, and some spots maybe with over 3 inches. But in the darker blue areas from Cincinnati to points east, I painted maybe a little bit more. So in that darker blue shading, you got a better chance of maybe getting upwards of 3 inches, maybe an isolated amount over 3 inches. And then in the white shaded area, south, west, and northwest of Cincinnati, and far north of Cincinnati, maybe northern Butler, Warren, Clinton County, got 1 to 2, but those are the areas that have the best chance of maybe picking up under an inch of snow on Tuesday. So you can kind of see the impacts go along with, what the forecast is this evening, with low or minor impacts for a good chunk of the area, but in the yellow shadings, again, from the I-275 loop to points east and southeast there, well, that's where we could have some moderate impacts from snowfall on Tuesday. So that gives you a general idea of what we're talking about. Again, if you're out and about early on the Tuesday morning drive, we're not expecting any issues there early on, but it's after 7 that the snow begins, and it starts out light, kind of snow showery there. So I put the yellow light up for the morning drive, and then that snow picks up late morning, say after 9 through 10, 11, 12, 1. That's when the peak of it looks to come, and then it kind of tapers down after that through the late afternoon and into the evening. So the afternoon drive, I've put the red light up for that. with the snow tapering down to snow showers. Temperatures are going to get near the freezing mark tomorrow, up around 32 degrees. So this is going to be a wet snow. It'll pack really good. The problem we're seeing, though, is that the roads are below freezing. The roads are really cold now. So whatever falls will stick to untreated roadways tomorrow. That's the bottom line. If the roads aren't treated, it's going to get kind of messy. So we put the red light up for the Tuesday drive, especially in the afternoon. I've kept the yellow light up in the Wednesday morning in some areas there. And then good to go on Thursday. And then another system could bring some early snow showers on Friday. And I've put the yellow light up for that possibility as well. Hey, I want to show you guys this before I get out of here. If you're sick of the cold and sick of the snow, there's a pattern flip that appears to be coming, at least a temporary one. This is valid from February 10th through 16th, averaging that whole time frame there. And the outlook from NOAA's Climate Prediction Center is for above normal temperatures to return to the greater Cincinnati area. So there's a look at it on the 10-day forecast. And you can see, through the next 7 days, I have 2 days above freezing, Friday and again a week from today. And then next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, well, we start to warm it up 40, maybe close to 50 degrees next Wednesday and next Thursday. And, I believe this warming trend will be temporary. I believe there'll be more cold air coming after it, but, maybe better to thaw out briefly than to not thaw out at all. I don't know what you guys think about that. But it does look like we are going to trend up on the temperatures. Again, want to show you guys the impacts for tomorrow's snow one more time. Let me load that back up on the computer. There it is. So, I would say for half the area, it's a low or minor impact type thing, but a moderate impact around the greater Cincinnati area, the 275 loop, and especially points east and southeast of Cincinnati. That's where the modeling has been indicating, maybe we get a little more snow in those spots. Maybe you squeeze out a 3 or 4 incher in those spots. So this is another recap if you're just joining us. Snow Tuesday begins mainly after the morning drive, earlier, though, to the south and southwest of Cincinnati. So we're talking mainly after 7 a.m., but for a lot of us, won't be until 8 and after. It starts out light. It'll pick up late morning and early afternoon, and it's going to be a wet, slushy snowfall. And the vast majority of us look to be generally in that 1 to 3 inch category here. Areas north may see less, and then isolated 4-inch amounts possible, again, to the east and southeast of Cincinnati, kind of zeroing in on eastern Claremont, Brown, Adams, Highland County, that sort of area there where we could squeeze out a little bit more snow. We'll continue to update things. I'll be getting new data, new information, and basically all night long. So coming up tonight at 10 on Star 64, I'll bring you some new information when you join us for the 10 o'clock news there. And, of course, the 11 o'clock news on Local 12. I'll also break down some additional information there as well. But for now, generally a 1 to 3 inch wet snowfall. Timing isn't great with the way this is all setting up tomorrow. So some schools are going to have a hard decision to make. Do they go? Do they not go? Do they risk it? Do they not risk it? I think a lot of schools err on the side of caution. I saw some schools are already calling off tomorrow. And, of course, you can check that latest list at local12.com. We will continue to keep that updated. But generally 1 to 3 for most, some a little less, some maybe a little more. Not a huge snow. This is kind of a moderate level snow, a low-end shoveler, we feel like, for many of us. But if that changes, we will update things later tonight on Star 64 at 10 and again at 11 on Local 12. That's all I've got tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on here on Facebook and on YouTube with me tonight to get the latest on this next round of snow and